Friends, family, how's everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well. This is Chef D Knight of Date Night Catering with another installment of Funk Up the Flavor. I hope you're ready today. And I listen, first and foremost, I am so sorry. It's been a long time since I posted a video, so I'm sorry for that. I'm gonna try not to be so long next time. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm back. All right. So here we go. So today's episode is gonna feature one of my son's favorite items. My son Parker is a huge crab leg guy. So since he's up here with me right now and he ain't want to be in the video, maybe later on. But since he's up here with me right now, here in Birmingham. Oh, wait a minute. There he is. There you go. My man, hey, look, first of all, family, I'm so excited to have him with me, you know what I'm saying? If you can't tell, my baby boy is
taller than you.
What you say, son? Hold on. Tell the folks again.
Taller than you.
Hold on, get in the camera and tell him.
I'm taller than you.
Yeah, he only 13, so, you know. All right. So, but today's episode, though, like I said, it's a low country boil. Well, I didn't say that, but I'm telling you now. So we're going to have, in this low country boil, we're going to be using king crab legs, and shrimp, potatoes, and fresh corn on the cob. So I'm gonna show you how to funk this up. Oh, and don't forget the sausage too. So I'm using turkey sausage in mine. So we're gonna come back and funk this thing up. So see you back shortly to show you how to funk up the flavor with this low country. Family, welcome back. So I did tell you we're doing a low country boil. So let me show you most of the ingredients. So what I did is I got fresh corn on the cob. Right now you probably get this at a farmer's market or your local grocery store, anywhere from a quarter to maybe as high as 50 cents per ear of corn. Just peel it, take the silk off, cut it the ends off, cut it in half, and you're good. And I've got red potatoes, and then I've got some baby Yukon Golds. All I did is cut those in half. I quartered them, cut it in half, then cut it in half again. So I've got a pound of shrimp right here that I've already pre-seasoned. Yes, we pre-seasoned the shrimp, baby, with my seafood seasoning. So I'm going to tell you what's in this in a minute. Now, I've got 3 lemons that I've already cut in half. I've got 1 can of plain tomato paste and about 8 cherry tomatoes. I've got 1 red onion, 1 sweet yellow onion, and 2 green onions that I've diced up. 1 whole bell pepper, 3 cloves of garlic, and a serrano chili. You can use jalapeno or habanero, whatever you like. And then this is 1 package of turkey sausage that I've already, I cut it in half, and then I sliced that just to give about 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inch long pieces. Now, this is my crab boil or my seafood boil seasoning right here. I'm gonna tell you what's in it when I get ready to use it. This is my seafood seasoning, and then this is my house seasoning. So they're all gonna be used, and then this is fresh parsley. Now, what is missing from this? The crab legs, baby. So we do have a pound of snow crab legs right here, all right? So these are already, these are previously frozen crab legs, already cooked. So these are actually gonna go in last. And I'm gonna show you how to put all this together. So I've already got, here in my pot, I've got about 4 tablespoons of olive oil and 2 tablespoons of butter. Man, I just love butter and the flavor. So what we're gonna add to this first is we're gonna add the sausage. So we're gonna add this sausage in here, and we're just gonna let this cook down, man. I want this sausage to really cook out as much of the flavor that it has in there as we possibly can. And why do we want to cook out the flavor in this sausage? Man, that's gonna flavor this broth that's gonna go in this low country boil. All right, so we're gonna let this cook, I would say at least 10 to 15 minutes. And then when I come back to that, we're gonna add all of our vegetables. So we're gonna add the peppers and garlic. So this is the serrano and 1 bell pepper. Now I use the yellow bell pepper. If you want to use red or green, it don't matter. If you want to use all 3 colors, that's cool too. Then we're gonna add all our onions, and then our fresh tomatoes, which came out the garden back there, by the way, and our tomato paste. This is just gonna enhance the flavor, guys. All right, so as this is cooking, I'm gonna let this do its thing. You can see that the oil is already starting to kind of increase because it's cooking out the oil in the sauces. So you don't have to add oil. The reason I did add some in there is because I want my vegetables to be able to cook in in oil. So you don't have to add that if you don't want to. If you're trying to cut down on your oil intake, whatever. So but there you go. It's your dish. Do what you want, man. Listen, when y'all see a recipe online or you see me do something, man, make it your own. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I just want you to eat good. All right, so I'll be back in about 10 minutes. And then we're going to add, it has not been 10 minutes. I did forget to tell you guys something. Hey, look, right here. That's your heat. You know, keep it somewhere between 6 and 8. You don't want to get all the way up here on the high, and then anything medium or below is not going to give you the sear that you're looking for on this sausage. So somewhere between, like, you know, mid-high, almost high kind of heat, almost like you're searing a steak is kind of what we're going for here. So we want this to get a nice little char on it just to add that flavor. See you guys back here when I get ready to add. All right, family, it's been about 5 minutes. And as you can see, we got all these nice little brown bits. Oh, we got some fog on the camera. We cooking for real, baby. But nah, seriously, you can see these nice little brown bits that are starting together. That is all flavor. That is what we are wanting to see. And if I flip one of these sausages over, you'll begin to see that it's starting to char. So that is exactly what you want. So we're gonna let this go for about another 5 minutes. And then we're gonna add our fresh tomatoes and tomato paste. Let that cook down for about 5 to 10 minutes. Then we're gonna add the onions. And we don't wanna cook all the vegetables all the way through. We just wanna sweat them. So sweat them means that you want them to become, you want them to become translucent. So not quite all the way done, but just have like a little bit of heat going through it, and you can almost see through the vegetable. Because when we boil these, what's going to happen is these vegetables are going to continue to cook, and so they're going to break down and add the flavor to the dish that we're looking for. So guys, see you back here shortly once I get ready to add the tomatoes to our dish. And it's going to be so good. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hey, listen, I just seen it in the background, so I'm going to share it with y'all. Check this out. I want to tell my wife thank you so much. So right here, she went out and she got me these 3 metal strips actually, which allows me to hang all my knives on the side of the fridge for a little convenience and organization. Thank you, baby. All right, so back to this right here, to this low country boil. There we go. Look at that. Now see it? All right. See how the sausage looks? We got all the brown bits in the bottom of the pan. The sausage is got a nice char on it or sear on it, right? So to that, we're about to add the tomatoes. About to add the tomatoes. Here comes chop. About to add the tomatoes. Here comes chop. All right. So here we go. Tomato paste and about 8 cherry tomatoes in the pot. Now we're gonna let that cook for about 5 minutes, right? Stir it up for me, son. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and stir that up. Stir it up. You're not playing with it, man. Get in there and stir that thing up. Like you're blocking somebody, man. Alright. So now to this, right? We're gonna add our house seasoning. No. Alright, so the house seasoning, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, granulated garlic, granulated onion, dried parsley. Alright, go ahead and add about 3 pinches of that in there, like that. Just right there, just sprinkle that in there. House seasoning. There you go. Alright, a little bit more, one more sprinkle. That's good right there. Perfect, that's good. Alright. So now to that, this is the seafood seasoning. We're gonna add all of this to this. Not all of it. Let's go about half. Half, yeah. There you go. Now, what's in this seafood season? Let me go ahead and tell you. Go ahead and start it up. So in the seafood season, I'm sorry, the crab boil season, not the seafood season, you have salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, granulated garlic, granulated onion, nutmeg, paprika, dill, tarragon, bay leaves, mustard seed, celery seed, and a little smidgen of cumin as well. Red pepper chili flakes. Also, we have some clove and a little bit of allspice in there. So that's your classic seafood boil, guys. So if you combine all of those ingredients, you will have what it takes to make a seafood boil. So I'm gonna go ahead and cook this for about 5 to 10 minutes until those tomatoes start to break down. And then once that's done, we will then add the peppers and the onions. So all right, family, welcome back. It's been about 5 minutes, and as you can see, these tomatoes have begun to break down. Let me get in a little closer so you can see what I'm talking about. You can see those tomatoes starting to kind of break apart right in there. Yeah. All right, you can kind of also see that we got all these nice little bits that are starting to gather at the bottom of the pot. This is more flavor, I'm telling you guys. All right, so next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add all of our peppers. Remember, 1 bell pepper, a serrano, and 3 cloves of garlic. See, you see all the oil is gone too. So I'm telling you, you're gonna need the oil. All right, then we're gonna add our onions. So this is 1 red onion, 1 sweet yellow onion, and 2 scallions in the pot. All right, so to this, we're gonna add a little bit more seafood boil seasoning, a touch of house seasoning, and a touch of seafood seasoning. So what's in the seafood seasoning? Everything except for the mustard seed and the celery seed. So salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, granulated garlic, granulated onion, dried parsley, dill, tarragon, a little bit of oregano as well. I'm telling you guys, this thing is full of flavor. All right, so we're gonna let these sweat through. So look, as you can see too in the pot, all this stuff that's at the bottom is starting to get picked up by the vegetables. Why? Because the vegetables are releasing moisture. And as they release moisture, it's gonna just simply, it's kind of almost like washing the pot. You know, when you get something in the bottom of the pot, you put some water on it and you scrub it. Well, these vegetables are releasing moisture. And so I'm using the spoon and the moisture from the vegetables to scrape all that flavor up. And so as I scrape this up to this, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna add one beer. You can use whatever beer you like. My wife bought these, and so I'm drinking them. They're good. And we're also gonna add about 4 quarts of water. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and add our beer. I recommend a lager, man. Don't go with no light punk beer, man. Get you a beer with some real flavor. You can even go as deep as Guinness if you like. But get you something. Look at that! Oh my God, this looks so good. How does that look, Parker? Good. We like that. That's because of how all the sauces, all the seasonings that are in there. All right, so we're gonna add about 4 quarts of water to this. Then we're gonna add the potatoes because they're gonna take the longest to cook. Then we're gonna add the corn. Then we're gonna add the shrimp, and then we're gonna steam the crab legs through. So I'll be back and show you what that all looks like. All right, welcome back, family. All right, so Parker, you ready? He's gonna put a whole gallon of water in here for us. Pour it slowly. Pour it slowly. All right, there you go. There we go. We got a gallon of water in there.
I added the fish to my fish tank.
All right. So we're just gonna kind of stir this a little bit just to get everything meeting each other. Hey, what's up? Oregano, welcome to the party. Bay leaves, what's happening? Salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder,
Water though.
Oregano, everybody get to say what's up to each other. Nutmeg, cloves, the whole nine. So to this, we're gonna add the rest of our crab boil seasoning. Go ahead, just dump it all in there. Boom. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and turn our temperature up to high. We need to get that boiling. It's called a crab boil. Got to get it boiling. Now to this, or a low country boil, I'm sorry. To this, we're going to add our potatoes and corn. We're going to add it all at the same time. Go ahead and drop that in. Go ahead, sir. Don't just drop it in there. It's going to splash on you. Go down in there low. There you go. There you go.
Sorry about the lighting.
Now, I'm going to sprinkle this with a little bit of seafood seasoning.
House seasoning.
And a little bit of house seasoning. You're adding more stuff to it, so you gotta. Now, what I recommend you do. This is exactly correct, son. So what I recommend you do at this point, Parker, go grab us a spoon. At this point, what you really need to do, yes, just a regular spoon, is you need to taste what you have going on. Here you go. Here, I'll put some on the spoon for you. Go ahead, just get you. Here, I'll grab it for you, son. I don't want you to burn yourself. Exactly.
You almost made me.
All right, go ahead, Parker. Taste that and tell me what you think.
It's hot. Put it right here.
Go ahead, taste it and tell me what you think. Cool it off. There you go. What you think?
Good. It tastes like tomatoes.
He's smiling now. There we go. All right, so we're gonna let this come up to a boil. It actually is really good, man. I promise you. It tastes better than some of them crab boil company stuff. So we're gonna let this come up to a boil. And my son said he doesn't taste the beer. Exactly. All right, so we're gonna let this come up to a boil. And once this comes up to a boil, we're gonna add this. We're gonna let this boil until the potatoes are done. So that's gonna take about 15, maybe 20 minutes. And I'm gonna go ahead and add these lemons too. So all you wanna do is just squeeze them in and drop them. Squeeze them in and drop them. And then we're gonna add the shrimp once the potatoes are almost done. So just squeeze in the lemons and drop them in. Oh, and if you don't have enough heat, all you got to do is add some red chili flakes to it, and it'll kick up the heat for you. So there we go. All right, guys, we'll be back here in just a moment. Saying about 15 minutes, maybe 20. So once the potatoes are done, we're going to check them with the fork to make sure they're good. Then we're going to add the shrimp, because you know that only takes like 3 to 5 minutes on a roaring boil for shrimp to cook. And then we're going to add the crab legs at the very end. So see you guys back in about family. 15. So it is not quite time to add our shrimp to our seafood boil mix. But what I want to go ahead and show you guys, I've got my remaining seafood seasoning here. I'm going to go ahead and dump all that on these crabs. All right, so what we're going to do is just going to let that sit on the crabs. And then we're going to throw these on the top and actually let these steam. So, nah, don't touch that. Don't touch it. Just let it sit. You just want it to sit. I promise you. Because what's going to happen is, as this seasoning sit on there, right, it's going to, of course, penetrate a little bit, but not much because it's got all this, you know, exoskeleton to go through. But when we steam these, it's really going to stick to the exoskeleton of the crab. So when you bite into it and you're sucking on the crab leg, you're going to get all that flavor. So we're going to show you how all this will come together. But once these come, the seafood boil actually comes to a boil. See, it's starting to boil. So we got about, I'd say, 10 minutes left until the potatoes are done. Then we're going to add this, the shrimp. Let that go for about 3 to 5. And then we're going to add the crab legs at the very end and let those steam for about 5 minutes, and we'll be ready to eat. All right, family, welcome back. It's been about 10 minutes now. All right. So I'm just trying to stay back enough so I don't steam up the camera lens here. But you want a forked tender potato. So just grab a potato and stab it with a fork. And if your fork goes through it without breaking it apart, they're done. If you break it apart, they're overdone. Alright, so let me grab a potato. Oh yeah, we're good. Alright, I don't want to keep getting my lens steamed up here. Alright, so to this, we're going to add our shrimp. It's going to go in there for about 3 minutes. Seriously, maybe 5 at the absolute most. Cause shrimp, look, as soon as the whole thing is pink, it's done. There you go. Look at that. It's almost done, literally. And see, that's why we marinated it too in that seafood rub.
So it gets the flavor.
Get the flavor in it, baby. All right, so we're gonna let that go for about 3 to 5, and then when I come back, we're gonna add the crab legs right on top. Let that steam for about 7 to 8, and then we'll be ready. Family, welcome back. Look at that. See that? You can see that shrimp is completely done. All right. So we're gonna go ahead to this. We're gonna add these crabs. They're already frozen. I'm just gonna pour them on top. Let's get all that seasoning out of there too. We need all that. Scrape that in. Just like that. All right. So we're literally just gonna let these sit on top, and we're gonna cover this with the lid. So you wanna put the lid on, make sure it's still on high, let it come up to a boil about another 6 to 8 minutes, just until the crab legs are heated all the way through. And once they're heated through, it'll be time to eat. Man, this smells so divine. All right, when I come back, it's gonna be time to chow down. We're gonna show y'all what a low country boil looks like. All right, family, I'm back. It's been about 8 minutes. Let's see what we got. Oh man, it looks so good. Sorry about this steam, y'all, but that let y'all know I'm really cooking. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and turn my heat down. Actually, I'm just gonna turn the heat off. And then I'm gonna plate this up. So I'm gonna take some of the broth, put that in. Then I'm gonna pull out some of the sausage, the corn, the shrimp, you know, the crab legs, the potato. Then I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna give y'all a funk up the flavor bite with me a nice Yingling Black and Tan as well. So I'll be right back to sample this with you guys. Oh, I don't even want to turn the camera off because I know y'all looking at it like, man, that looks so good. Look at that, man. Just look at that. Just look at that. If you like low country or seafood, boy, man, man, this recipe is in the game for you. All right, we're gonna come back and we're gonna taste this. All right, I'll be right Welcome back, family. It's that time. You know, that time in the episode where I show you what has come together. So let me show you. We did say a low country boil or a seafood boil. Look at that. That's Curtis in the back. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna let it, listen, I'm not even gonna touch it right now. I'm gonna let Parker tell you guys what's going on with this. All right, Mr. Knight, are you ready?
For what?
Let's tell the folks what we got, man. Let's tell them if we really funked up the flavor today. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and dig in. I'm gonna try this sausage. Now, there's so many ways you can eat a low country boil, man. Some people like to take everything out, lay it all out on the table, and just go to town. Some people like to do it like I'm doing. Put it in the bowl with a little broth. Sausage is superb. Ooh, got a little kick at the end too. You go to shrimp. If you like seafood and you don't make this, I'm gonna be mad at you. I'm gonna go ahead and take this French bread and dip it in this broth and tell you what that's looking like. And that's what you do with a low country boil, you know? You get the bread and you sop up the gravy or the broth. Y'all, A1. A1. So guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Funk Up the Flavor. So, I'm gonna leave you with some parting words.
And some good lemonade.
And some good lemonade that Parker made too. But here are the parting words. You are the creator of your entire destiny. No one can ever tell you what you're entitled to. No one can ever tell you how great you are. Only you know your own internal greatness. So when you know your own internal greatness, it's up to you to continue to strive for it. Don't let nothing or anybody stop you, man. Not even some nappy hair, a zit on your face, a missing tooth. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, don't let anything get in your way. There's so many times in life where obstacles hit us, and then you sit down and you look back and you think about this situation, and you realize, well, you could have went right instead of going left, and you could have avoided the entire situation, which lets you know that had you made the right decision, you wouldn't be in the situation you in, which also lets you know that your entire life is actually in your control. So man, family, I love you. This is Chef D Night signing off with another episode of Funk Up the Flavor. And if you haven't, follow Date Night Catering on Instagram, Date Night Catering on Facebook, Funk Up the Flavor on YouTube, Chef D Night on Instagram. All right, much love. Y'all have a good one, man. Stay up, family.